Hello everybody and welcome to Crochet, a Canadian crochet podcast. I am your hostess Claudia. Ember is here as usual. Say hello to the people. Very nice, thank you darling. And welcome to 2023. I hope you guys had a great holiday, celebrating whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. I just hope it was a restful time, a peaceful time, and that you enjoyed whatever you were participating in. All right, so let's get started. Since I've got, we haven't chatted for a while. I've got a few things to show you. We'll be referencing my notes, so if I'm not looking right at you, that's what's going on. So let's get at it. Today I am wearing my granny stripe triangle shawl because it's like a blanket and it's nice and cozy and I love it. It is made with Bernat Premium in the color Golden Wheat, which I feel like it was limited time. It didn't say anything on the label, but I can't find it anywhere anymore. So, but I like it. I like this color. Everything. It's great. Yes. Okay, so I think we're going to start with finished objects. And I feel like I have lots of stuff around me, but I have lots of big things around me. So it looks more overwhelming than it actually is. So I will get started with, last episode I showed you I was making a toque for my husband and it was about yay big at the time. And it has long been finished. I think I finished it the next day after that podcast episode aired. So here it is. It is this lovely blue denim. I believe the color is called denim and it's Highland something. I can't remember the colors now and I threw the labels away. One thing though that annoys me about this toque is that my husband keeps putting it in the wash and then it goes in the wash because he wears it out places and it gets dirty, which is fine. But I'm like, it's wool, it doesn't need to be washed that often. And luckily I'm catching it before it goes into the dryer. So I told him if he puts it in the wash again, I'm going to take it away and it's going to be mine. But that being said, it smells really nice. We sometimes use those downy like fragrance things for the dryer. And so now it smells mostly like that. And anytime I found it in the washing machine, I take it out right away. And we wash all of our clothes on cold, so I wasn't that worried about it. It hasn't felted at all. It just like, it looks so pretty. Like that's the only thing is it looks really, really nice. But I dry it over our forced air heat register. So even if the heat's not going, it still has air underneath it and on top. So it dries really, really quickly and it's super nice. And he wears it all the time. So I'm glad for that. It's nice. Love it. The next thing that I worked on and finished, which no one saw, I just did it, was this plant hanger that I made for our one Christmas cactus, which needs some water now that I'm looking at it and to be dusted. But yeah, so I used, this is, oh gosh, Facets from Loops and Threads from Michaels. It is in the colorway Flame. And this is a net stitch. So you do, what did I do at the bottom? So you go in a spiral like this. I had to remember because I just whipped this up one day because I was like, I need to put this up. We have this empty hook in the ceiling and I wanted to put a plant up there, so I made this. So you start with, oh gosh, how I made this, and I'm just going to do a really brief description. If you guys want more details, let me know and I'll whip something up for you. So what you do is you have a magic circle and you stitch 6 single crochets into it. I think that's what I did, 6 or 8. It doesn't really matter, but this is just what I did. And then when I go back in the next row, so you do a spiral, but you start the first, you go this way, and then you go back once, and then you keep going this way. So when you join it, you chain 3, and then in the first single crochet stitch, you stitch, then chain 3. So it makes sort of like a flower like this. And then when you come back to it, you single crochet into, you don't have to put it in the chain, you just put it around the chain. And then you keep going, and then as you get bigger and bigger, you can add more and all of that. So that's how I made like the pot part. And then I actually thought I was pretty smart with the hangy part. So once it got to a part where I felt like it was deep enough to hold the plant pot, and I had been measuring it and all of that stuff, I wanted to make the hanging part. So what I did was I chained 160. So I went all like up and then back over, and I just very like rudimentarily, yeah, sure, that's a word, folded it in half to find out where on that side I wanted to put it. So I did 80 and then 80, and the 80 will make sense after. And then single crochet into the top of whatever that other side was, crochet 80 back up. So I would get the middle, and this is still just the chain. Then I chained 80 again, and I took it to halfway between this set and this set of stitches. So it's like a quarter of the way around. Then I crocheted 80 back up, and then I crocheted back down 80, back up 80, and then single back all the way down to the bottom, and that's how I created the 4 sides. You could do this as many times as you want. It was really like, it was super easy. I probably could have even done like the quarter that way around, but I just chose to do that way and then that way because it worked out. So yes, I'm sure that all of that sounds really convoluted. It wasn't that hard. I'm like, if I take pictures and show you, it's much more forthright. I'm very rusty. It's been a long time since I've had to describe what I've done because it's been a long time since we've had a podcast episode, which is my bad. All right, and I have one other finished object to show you guys, and it is this. I crocheted myself. It looks much better when it's like put out properly. Anyway, so this is a string of pearls. I'll put it up a little bit closer. So this, again, this was really easy. This was just spur of the moment because I've been wanting a string of pearls, succulent, but I can't seem to find one that I like that isn't abhorrently priced. So I was like, I'll just make one. So I have, this is the moss color of yarn from Bernat Premium. And I feel like I talked about this a million times. Anyway, the yarn, not this project. This is brand new. I just finished it a couple of days ago. So what I did was I chained between, for each of these, I would just chain between 5 and 20 to get the starting part. And then I did a puff stitch in and then slip stitched back into the row, went a few more stitches. And I just sort of randomly, it's like some of them have a lot of space between, you can see like this. And some of them are short, and some of them don't have a lot of space in between, but are really long. Anyway, so I just did kind of what I felt like. It was super random. I didn't really count anything other than the first chains because I wanted them all to be a little bit different. So each one of these is different. They're all just a single set. And then what I did, I was going to crochet a pot, but that part didn't work out quite right, which is okay. So I chained, or I made a circle that would fit the bottom of this jar, and I put it in there to check it. And then I put the long end of the beginning of the chains here, and I just looped it in and did sort of like a single crochet stitch in there, and then I tied them all together underneath. You can't see because I've now put a bottom on here, but I made sort of like a little pot that they're in. But when it's like this, you can't really see. And I guess like I could have done it in brown because I have brown, so it looked like dirt, but I wanted it to look more like a pot than like dirt. So yeah, I like this plant. My kids were like, hey, can we water that one? And I was like, well, you can, but it'll go moldy. So, but there, I just thought that was fun. It sits in my window right now because it's too cold to have any plants in the window. So I like it. I guess I just like doing this to it. When I was going to show you all the works in progress, I was like, I don't think I have anything really to show you. And then I kept looking around and tidying things up, and I was like, oh, I got a couple of things. So I am still working on, let me pick it up here, the waffle blanket. It is quite heavy now. I have decided to add some white and gray here in the middle. This is not really the middle. Where were we? This is the place we were last time. So I haven't made a ton of progress. I was hoping to be more like half done, but I'm not, but that's okay. So yes, I have made this much progress. So while we're here, we'll move the stitch marker, this yellow one, if I can get it out. There we go. And we will put it, this is the last row here. It's just becoming cumbersome, so I don't really want to crochet it, which is laziness on my behalf, but that's how it is. I'm also going to have to move venues because I typically sit here to crochet. I'm going to have to move to the couch because I just need the real estate now to do that. But yeah, so nothing really exciting to report other than this is how it looks. It's coming along. I like the colors. This is part of a further conversation that we're going to have. But yeah, I like it. I like how it's turning out. It's pretty. It's going to be nice and toasty, which is what's important. This was also from last time. I was working on the, what did I call it? A little shifty or something like that. So I can't remember what I showed you, which is terrible. I should be able to remember, but I don't. Oh, I do remember. Okay, sorry. Back up. I ended up frogging the whole thing, and it took me 3 days to frog it. I didn't do any crocheting on anything else. I just sat and watched TV, and I frogged it. So yeah. The whole thing got frogged. This is the back, I think. Yeah, this is the back. And I ended up doing the stitches a little bit differently, which I think ended up better in my opinion. I'm trying to drag stuff out here. It's still attached to some bow. So I got it to, I wanted it to like the natural part of the smallest part of my waist, which is right here. And it's nice and stretchy. And oh gosh, now that I haven't worked on this for quite a while. Now I'm pulling it out. I'm just like, oh, I love it. And I got as far as a sleeve. So the sleeves are going to be sisters, not twins. This kind of went a little bit funny. So I am decreasing. I have notes somewhere in my notebook about how I'm decreasing in each of these areas. So because I don't want like a big thick, I don't really like a big thick sleeve that's like baggy. I like my clothes to be form fitted. We'll just, as much flack as I got for that in my childhood, I just gotta say that that's what I like and I like it. So yeah, this I ended up just doing half double crochet instead of the like that offset double crochet that I had done before, and I switched also. Okay, so I started here. I used the orange as the background for this, and then I switched after this part here, this set of how many rows is it? All right, I switched between, so there's 6 rows of the alternating linen stitch. And then I went back to, and then I switched colors here. And because I was expecting actually to switch back to this all the way, but I mean, it would have been like that long. And it was way too narrow because it would have started riding up if that was the case, like if I had done that. So I just ended up finishing it with making the purple the background of this. So you can kind of see that it's different. I think it worked out really nicely. Anyway, not important. I guess it's important. I like it. Yeah, so I'm working on the sleeves right now, so you can see the linen stitch, which is typically a tighter stitch, is, you know, tight as it would be, but I think once I block it, it's going to be all good, and I'm really happy with how this looks. But yeah, I haven't worked on it for a while because I was getting mad at it, and then I wanted to work on other stuff, so I did, but now I've taken it out, and I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to actually wear this. It's nice. So yeah, this sleeve is not going to match this sleeve because I can't necessarily find, and I don't want to cut the balls all apart to have them matching exactly like this. And I switched to the purple background when I joined the sleeve on instead of continuing with the orange, just for a little bit of interest. But I stayed with the stitch type. That makes sense. Hopefully you can see like this is the same as this. Yeah, so it's nice. This sleeve, gosh, almost done. I feel like I have long arms. No, this is only like half done sleeve. But yeah, so this is almost finished. But yeah, this is what I worked on. So I basically remade the entire sweater since last time I talked with you guys. So good for me, I guess. I was just playing around with granny squares, so I made some new of the sunflower style ones. Gosh, I love how these look. They're so nice, so nice. So my color schematic with this, and I switched them, was the white. This color is called Glacier Bay Harvest Wheat, and I think this is medium heather gray. Burnett, Lion Brand, Burnett. I goes. Anyway, a bunch of granny squares, and I sewed them together, and I've actually made good progress on this. This looks, okay, I need to preface this. It looks really funny when I'm holding it up, but when I put it on, it looks a lot nicer, in my opinion, than it does when I just hold it up. So I'm just going to talk about it, then I'll try it on for you, and we can continue on. So I'm making myself a dress, and it looks kind of funny right now. You see, like, this is what I'm saying, like, it just looks weird to me when I hold it up, but then when I put it on, I like it so much. I don't make any sense. It's inside out right now because you can see I have stitched, I believe it's called a mattress stitch, to put them together so that you can't see the join. Well, you can right here for some reason, probably because I didn't pull it tight enough, but that will be fixed up. But for the most part, you cannot see the joins on those. And then I also stitched in the Glacier Bay around the armholes and the neck hole, and then Glacier Bay is the bottom because I have a ton of this. Okay, I'm going to try it on for you over top, not over top of this, but over top of the other, and then we can see. Until I'm wearing my undershirt under here still, because I don't want all of this to be see-through, because obviously it doesn't. Yeah, that's where it is. So I think it looks a lot better on than it did me just holding it. So it fits. I wanted it again to go to the smallest part of my waist. It's ever so slightly a bit longer than that, but that's just the way that these have ended up. And then I have started the skirt, which it looks just very like peplum right now. I might pull it back because I added stitches into right here. I added extra stitches, but I think it might be too much. And it's like the butt that I don't know. It might even just need length to just sort of like fix it, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going with this one, but then I'm going to, I mean, if it needs to be frogged and redone, it needs to be frogged and redone, because I'm making this to fit myself, and I mean, everything else fits. Like, it's not cutting me under the armpit, which is not what I want. I hate when stuff cuts me under the armpit. The opening is fine. I like this. Like, this is kind of, it's like big-ish, right? So maybe if it was like, no, I like it better big. This looks funny now, doesn't it? Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, so I mean, it's how I'm making it, it's not really intended to be worn just like this. It's like technically supposed to be like a winter sweater and then, or winter dress. And then I would wear a cardigan on top of it. Probably not a crochet, because crochet on crochets, sometimes it is a crime. But I mean, right, because you wouldn't be able to see. This is all sideways, just pretend. Well, maybe this isn't quite a crime. I don't know, I haven't decided yet now. Now that I'm talking to you guys, I'm getting more in different ideas. But anyways, the top part would be like not covered up, but it would be, it's layered. So, you know, like you can see some of the interesting part, but it's not just like wham. But I mean, if I'm so hot, I have the option to take it off, and it's not like, wow, that looks weird. It looks homemade, but not weird. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. My husband says that he likes the colors, so that's important too. And yeah, so that is where I am at with this. And the last thing that I the last thing that I am working on is that I didn't need to have a project for the carpool. So I call this my carpool project, and I decided to make myself another pair of socks. This is the Bee Hooked Perfect Crochet Sock, sorry, by Bee Hooked. I'll link all of the information in the description box below for all of these things so that you guys can check it out and check my Ravelry out and that stuff. So when did I start? It's not that long ago. So yeah, it's just when I have a few minutes, I'm sitting waiting. And I made a size up. So this is technically the pattern for the medium size sock. And the reason that I did that was because I have made this sock before with a finer sock yarn like this. The sock, or the yarn that they call for in the pattern, I believe is a bit different size and use a different hook size. So, and it kind of hurt my feet. Like they were a little bit too tight. So I don't wear them very often. So these ones I made in the size medium instead of the size small. Literally I used all the measurements. So I did this. You're supposed to go to 5 inches. What is that? 13 centimeters. I keep trying to do the math in my head. So 4 inches is roughly 10 centimeters. So yeah, that's right. That's right. 13 is close enough. 13 centimeters from sort of the beginning of the toe box to your heel, which when I look at this and when I look at my regular socks in my drawer, this looks so big and so long. But the thing that I have to remember, and why I complained about my socks being tight on my feet. So crochet has a lot of stretch. So, okay, so yes, going toe up this way. Crochet has a lot of stretch this way, as you can see. Like it's fairly springy that way and has good memory. This way, not a lot. So the thing I think that I was doing that wasn't right, other than the size not being quite there, was that I hadn't taken into account that it was going to be also stretching this way, which then you can see what happens is this area gets narrower, and that was what was squishing my foot too much. So now that I have given myself more stitches around and longer, and I keep trying it on, it's ever so slightly long, but that's okay. I don't want it to be so tight on my foot that I am like crying and in pain. The pattern calls for a 4mm hook, and I am using a 3.5mm. The yarn called for, I want to say a 2.75 on the label, but I can't remember now off the top of my head because these labels are long gone. This is the, oh goodness, it's from Italy, or Germany by way of Italy. I remember that. The color is called Lucerne, and the reason I remember that is because we have a brand of milk in Canada called Lucerne milk. We drink Dairyland though at our house. Yeah, the details will be in the raw. Yeah. The details are in the Ravelry project page, all of which, again, links below. But I like how this is turning out. I did make a small adjustment to the ankle. So this is, I haven't done the heel yet. That's one thing I'm going to have to see if I can find a crochet heel that I like. Because that's one thing about toe up is I really struggle with the heel and getting a fit that I enjoy. Because I prefer the fit of the top down. So maybe I can Franken sock it. Who knows? Anyway, all that being said. So I went around in the specified number of rows at when you kind of open the heel. And then for 5 rows, I followed the guide of you do a stitch in every stitch, so it's the same size. And then you're just supposed to continue up for several rows till you're happy with the height. So I'm not quite done with the height. But after 5 rows, I decreased 5 stitches in there because my ankle and my Achilles, it really scoops in. So, and when I was putting this on, it was really baggy, and it's not like it's gonna suck back up, because it's not. So I went up 5 stitches, did 5 rows of that. Then I added the 5 stitches back up, because that's enough for it to like scoop up my Achilles and like stay on my leg without being too tight that I couldn't get it on. Because if I decreased anymore, I would not be able to get the sock on my foot. Even still, I have to be careful because it's a bit tight. I don't know. There must be something wrong with my feet because they're not wide. Everything on me is like narrow and small, right? So, but the width of my foot is just enough more than the width of my ankle that it's a little bit hard to get these on. Not so bad though. And then so yes, I'm almost finished these because I want to go up probably about, I think I'm going to go up another 4 centimeters, and then you're supposed to do a slip stitch back loop only. This is a free pattern, by the way, so I'm not like giving away secrets. You can go get the pattern yourself for free. And there's a video tutorial, which is great. But I think I'm just going to bind off, and then I'm going to make the cuff, and then I'm going to crochet the cuff onto here. I think. I have not tried that before. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but you know what? I'm happy to experiment. So I will let you all know how that goes. Yeah. And then the issue that I'm going to have is getting this heel sorted out. So it's not that the heel pattern is bad or wrong or anything like that. It's just, I just don't really like it for my foot. So I'll figure something out. I always do, right? But yeah, so there's that. So I'll have to make a pair of those. I think I'm getting way too much into everything today. It's been a while. Okay, yarn purchases. So I have not purchased anything for quite a while. I don't have anything, no, I have nothing new. And I know a lot of makers at this time of year say, I'm not going to buy anything new this year. I'm not going to buy anything new this year. Totally not me. I'm 100% going to buy stuff this year. I'm just not buying stuff right now. So something that I've seen other creators do that I think is super fun, and I'm totally going to hop on the bandwagon, even though we're like, what, 2-3 weeks into, oh man alive, this month is going by so fast, into January. So I've seen people have a top 9 that they would like to, big nine, not top 9, big 9 that they want to get done, because obviously, like, I'm going to crochet more than 9 things this year, hopefully. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to try and put pictures in to show you guys what I want to do. So bear with me. This is not something that I do regularly. Usually I just give you word salad and pray for the best. So, okay, I have to check my list here. So my top 9, I want to make, it's actually, I wrote this down in my notes like this. Make Richie, who's just my husband, an old man cardigan. So he went digitally shopping on Google, found a sweater that he likes, so I'm going to make that. The only thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go to the yarn store because I want to make it out of fingering weight yarn, which is narrow, because he doesn't like bulky stuff, which is totally fine. He has some sensory things. So he's been diagnosed with ADHD, and there has been discussion back and forth whether or not he's also on the autism spectrum or not. Like, he has some markers and he doesn't have some markers, but anyway, like, all of that being said, regardless of his diagnosis, he has some sensory issues, so he does not like chunky things. So that's something I'm just going to have to be aware of, and yeah, I'm going to go to my local yarn store and get some yarn for that. Number 2, finish the waffle blanket. That is my Everest for this year, is getting that finished, because I'm already starting to be like, I don't want to work on it, but it's young in the winter time, so we're gonna have to keep working on it. You guys are gonna have to keep me accountable. I want to make sure that I can show that I have made progress, even if it's 2 lines, every episode of the podcast. So if I don't show it, you guys are more than welcome to digitally yell at me, and I give you permission for that. Oh, the next thing, this is not a big thing, but I think it's so pretty, is the NOMAD, number 3, The next, it's so pretty, so pretty, so pretty. So I want to show you the picture. Hopefully you'll understand why I like it so much. It's called the NOMAD Cozy Neck Warmer by the Floral Hook. And it's lovely. It's in my queue. I think it's so pretty. It'll be so fun for those days that I don't want to wear a full scarf, but still want the the neck protection up to yay, which happens actually more than you would think. Okay, next is the juniper wall hanging, and I'm sort of starting to get that started-ish right now. I have doweling that my husband's getting sorted out for me. That's the proper size. It is, yeah, so like it says, it's a wall hanging. It's a chevron granny stripe. Super fun, super cute. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, I think, or their website, one of the two. It's in my queue to get done. Oh yes, so there is a Sienna two-way bralette by Shaz. And you can wear it. I've seen people wear bikini tops like this. I've never done it, but you can wear it like this way or this way, like the band that way. And it just sort of looks a little different depending on the way that you have it. I have a yarn for that already. And I don't really have a need to wear extensive female undergarments, if you know what I mean. And I just thought something like that would be fun to whip up just to say that I did. Oh, okay. So this is another big one that I think as long as I get started by June, if I get started by June, it should be finished. But if it's not finished this year, it's not the end of the world. So I made my grandpa a temperature blanket last year, and I will link the episode up here where that was. I'm doing a different one for our family. So my grandpa's is for the year that he was born. And I'm going to do a temperature blanket for our family for our master bed. That is the year that my husband and I were married, which was 2006. So I have all of the data. I have all of the colors picked out. And again, I'll show you the colors that I've decided for. There's 12 of them. And I have gone to the Michaels website to see what color of yarns I'm going to use. So I've decided that I would like to use their Impeccable line because it has the best color variation for the best price there. And that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, so, and then I'm going to have my husband's birthday, the day we were married, my son, my daughter's birthday, and my birthday as the special stripes on the blanket. And I'm going to do, this is the first time I've ever done it, and it's going to be a corner to corner blanket. So I don't really know what that's going to look like or how giant it's going to be. And I can also get to the point that if it feels like it's going to be way too much, I could chevron it, I think. So have one set up this way, that's, you know, up to June, and then July to December the other way, like that. We're not there yet. I have no plans on getting that started for quite some time. But yeah, so that is another big one. Okay. Knitters, you guys and your muscle burl hats are giving me major toque envy. So I want to figure out how to make a crochet muscle burl toque. So that is also on my list. I have a yarn that's super fine to make it. It's the Loops and Threads. It's called Wool-like. I have some left over in this pretty bluish denim color that was going to be my test yarn for muscle burl hat. So wish me the best with that. There are no patterns that I can find for crochet muscle burl hats, so we will see. Oh yes, okay, number 8. We're almost done, Number 8 is I would like to crochet myself, and I have a scrap all started of a granny stripe crochet. It ends up being like a beach cover up sort of, but it's a dress. It's super cute. It has flared sleeves. I don't know. I really like it. I think it's really, really cute. That's one that I would like to get done by December, and all of that. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Oh, and number 9 is I would like to make myself a bag/purse. I have a smaller one that's great for just running around for short trips and things, but I would like a different one other than my big green one that I can take for longer stints during the day that I have just made myself. That I don't really have a pattern for that one. I'll show you a couple of ideas that I think I would like to do, but nothing is set in stone yet. And then a bonus, of course I have a bonus. Number 10 is I would also really like to make myself one of those crochet granny stripe cardigans that are hexagon shaped, and it just like folds onto your arms and it looks so cool. I love those things. They look so fun, and that's what I like. So I would make that before the granny stripe dress, because I would like to make, I don't know, I just really like granny stripes. Like, they're easy, they're fun, there's not a lot to them, but it's pretty mindless, right? Like, they're good to go. But yeah, so I would have more scraps from my scrappy dress. Life updates. This episode's so long. So I'm making up for all of the short ones that we had before. So we celebrate Christmas. We're a Christmas celebrating family, so we did that. And 2 days after Christmas, all of us came down with some kind of norovirus. So we were very unwell, and it was not fun and gross and just feeling very lethargic, yucky, laying around watching TV, crying in the middle of the night because my stomach hurt so bad kind of thing, which was the worst for us. Luckily, though, that was a short-lived endeavor for which I am eternally thankful. But my kids are still sick. Like, I don't know how this is happening. We haven't really been around anybody, and they are catching things. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Maybe they're going out in public and licking stuff, and I'm not watching. I have no idea. Also, they're really like old to be doing that, so that's a joke. And then. So yeah, so we did that, and then we had New Year's, which was like not really a thing. We made our own pizzas at home. I don't even think we stayed up till midnight. Everybody was so tired because like we had just been sick, so we were still getting over things. And the kids are back in school, which is super nice because they miss their friends. But my son has had really bad earaches lately, so we've been trying to deal with that and making sure he doesn't have an ear infection and things like that. And he's finally back at school because he missed 2 days of school because his ears are hurting. Ugh, but everybody is on the mend. So I don't know, we had a good Christmas in spite of it sounding like we didn't have a good Christmas because we were sick. But I don't know, it was nice. We got to hang out with family that we haven't seen for a while. And it was so much fun. So, okay, I'm going to end this now. Hopefully this ends up all right. Everybody is good. I'm so glad to see each and every one of you. I'm super like back on the New Year's YouTube thing, and I'm not gonna promise about uploading any specific day because I've been watching my stats, so it's a little bit more effective when I am uploading for my viewers, because it shows me when my viewers are online, and typically lately when I've been posting, it's not that effective. Oh, also one thing I totally forgot about this that I wanted to bring up. I'm not gonna be doing the Make With Me Mondays because you guys hate them, like, or whomever. They get so many downvotes. People just absolutely hate Make With Me Mondays. So message loud and clear, I'm not going to do those anymore. I get it. Low views, low engagement, so many thumbs down. I get it. I got it. It's totally fine. And, you know, if that's something that, you know, there's a small subset of you that you enjoy doing that, please let me know. Maybe we'll do that like once a month. Like maybe we'll do a live or something instead, and we can chat and make with me. But yeah, I get it. You guys don't like it, so I'm not going to do it anymore. Totally fine. I hear ya. Gotcha. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. It's so nice to see you. Like I said before, I hope everybody is doing well, and just know that I appreciate you so very much, and you're very special to me, and I hope you have a great rest of the day or whatever time that you're watching this. Please give this a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have already, you guys are fantastic. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Even if you don't like and subscribe, I'm glad that you decided to spend some of your day with me. We'll talk to you next time. Bye!